everyone. So excited for today's Money Monday. Um, Glad to have you all here with me today. I am going to talk about something with my great friend and amazing fellow badass boss bitch, Gabriela. We're going to talk about something that's super important to me, and that is how health and wellness is an integral part of getting a healthy relationship with your money. Like, sometimes when we think about being healthy with your money, we forget about how your overall health and wellness fits into this. And I know for me personally, it was a huge part of getting healthy or getting financially healthy was also becoming super healthy and well with me and myself. Like, you cannot have financial health without having mental health, physical health, really great habits. And that's something I'm really excited to talk to Gabriela about, because she's coming on right now. She can actually tell you herself what she is, what kind of business she has, and how to keep it the conversation. Hi.
Hi, how are you, Galit?
I'm really good. Do you have headphones?
I do have headphones, yes. Do you hear me there? You have a nice view in the background.
I know. I've had a super stressful day. So part of being like healthy, I came out to have dinner at Bungalow Bar, and I'm sitting on the water right now and kind of decompressing and um, just getting myself centered and getting myself ready for tonight's topic.
Right. Very exciting, the topic of today. And first of all, I want to thank you again for the invitation. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Yeah.
I appreciate it. Should I start introducing myself again?
Yes. Tell everybody who you are, what you do, how you fit
Well,
in.
thank you. Hello everyone. My name is Gabriela Barco, and I'm an integrative nutritionist health coach. And today I'm very excited that Galit invited me tonight to discuss the relationship and the connections between health and money. As we were discussing previously, I think, and I know she agrees with that because given her experience. Everything is connected. As we do one thing, we do everything. So everything has to do with one thing and then the other one. Um, and definitely, I believe that when you start on a healthy path, on a journey of improving your eating habits, not only health I will associate it with eating, but it's also people that you surrounded by, what did you do on your daily basis, and your habits, which I think is one of the biggest thing I've been learning reading about successful people.
Yeah, and I'd love to start by kind of sharing a personal experience with this, just because it is so important to me. And like, I just had to start listening to myself and my body and understanding what it needed, and really being present to that, because I didn't know you 2 years ago, but 2 years ago, I looked completely different. I acted completely different. I was the crazy workaholic. I had started my business about 3.5 years ago. And I spent the first year just busting my ass. Like getting in at 7 a.m. in the morning, working from that until 10 p.m., sometimes until 2 or 3 in the morning. I wasn't sleeping well. I wasn't eating well. I gained a ton of weight. Like I was just super unhappy, and I was making a decent amount for me, but I always felt like I was never doing enough. And it wasn't until I actually met, I don't know if you know her, Sarah from Crom, the gym that I go to.
Oh yes, the
Yeah,
my thigh.
yeah. So it's a Muay Thai and a CrossFit gym. And I met her, and she was just like, I don't know how you're not exhausted all the time. Like, I don't know how you're not burnt out right now. Like, you need to start taking care of yourself. And she gave me my first tips on how to take care of myself. And once I started doing that and I started losing weight and feeling better, I had more focus. I was able to do more. And I literally last year, my business grew 180%. Like that is not even something that's even mentally like that you can even think about mentally in like a nobody expects that, right? To be able to grow your business 180% just because you've made a lifestyle change. And not only that, like I was working less. I was just using my time way more efficiently. I started to delegate things. I was not stressing over every little thing, and I was really able to expand. And I'm undergoing another huge expansion now. And just on like a purely materialistic kind of shallow level, like it's really awful to say this, but it is how our society works, that kind of when you look healthier and you look um, like you take care of yourself, people look at you differently. They they trust you more, because when you're not taking care of yourself, they sometimes think that you're lazy, or that you don't that you're not going to take care of their business. And showing to people like the transformation that I went through was kind of like, oh, she's serious business. Like she's on her shit. She looks good. She takes care of herself. She's gonna rock this shit, and like I can trust her with my money. And and it's horrible to say that that's the way our society is, but it just is. More attractive people, healthier people, they get better jobs, they get promoted more easily. And it's not to say that that is the only reason that you should be doing this. You should be doing this to increase your focus, or to be better with yourself, and to prolong your life, because that's the reason that I did it. Like I didn't do it necessarily to make more money. I didn't know it was going to equal more money for me. It did, and that was a great bonus. But like it is an added benefit. Like it's a side benefit that you will start to get more opportunities just because you look like somebody who can handle them now.
Right. You've been like throwing a lot of aspects, and I'm like writing it down because it's very. I love when people share their experiences and when we can see ourselves in that experiences. Um, Especially with the part when you're saying the entrepreneur, we're kind of on the same path doing that, and then you get so focused on only on that that you disconnect even from your, not yourself. And it's hilarious because you're working for your business, but that it's a good way to see that how we have to always come back into ourselves and value our health, because if we're sick, we're not going to have the energy, the mental clarity that we need in our business. Because the range of making good decisions on a day is very short. I don't know if you knew that. I read it recently. So imagine if on top of that, that we have like a sure uh, probabilities of making good decisions, like our brain function. I'm talking about that.
Yeah.
Then we can go with the emotional side, but our brain function. And I'm gonna go a little.
Sorry, I'm
I
moving
don't want.
myself into the light a little bit because
I know.
the
It's fine.
sun is going down, and it happened to be that I
I'm
sat
seeing a
under.
beautiful sunset.
I know. I'm just like I want to like be. Oh, this is perfect.
Okay,
Okay,
right there is fine.
awesome, awesome.
Right there
Sorry.
is great.
Keep going.
No, don't
I'm so
worry.
sorry.
So what I was. Oh yes. So the entrepreneur, the focusing, the forget, and reconnecting with ourselves, and that all that I guess brought you to value your health, and I know and I can bet that where you're saying about your experience 2 years ago, like within those pounds that you lost, not only were like the exterior side, it is a lot of internal work that is going on. At least there is a lot of things that you start valuing, and you're like, oh my god, I already ate this, and I'm working so hard for having this, and that mindset is start like sinking in other areas of your life.
Yeah, you really, I think, I mean, I've said this before when it comes to money and when it comes to everything else, it's all about being intentional. So when you take that step and you start to become intentional in the things that you do to your body, the things that you eat, the way that you treat yourself, the way that you treat others, the way that you treat your money, that's when everything starts to shift. And it's like, it's an all like health and wellness is such an all encompassing topic. It's like you can't have like one type of health and wellness without having the others. You're not truly healthy, you know?
Exactly. And if you translate that into money, it's not the same thing when our parents used to, we used to live from our parents, like in the childhood. You will spend the money with less, you will care less. But when you start earning your own money, you will think it at least twice. Not that to me that, there are not people that are into shopping or over shopping, maybe. But it's something like you will be like, ugh, that okay, that's like not not so easy to earn, so maybe I will not spend it so fast or something like that. So that's great to make the comparison between health and wealth or money.
Yeah.
So everything is connected.
Everything is connected, and I feel like it's so important for people to understand that also what you mentioned about building habits. Like habits, having good habits are so important in both things. In wellness, in like health and nutrition, building good money habits. It's all about becoming changing your mindset and creating habits that improve upon what you already have, because that's how
Correct.
we take it to the next level.
Yeah, totally. And I'm gonna share this real quick. I bought a book. I come across in Facebook 1,000 things, and I bought a book. This guy was talking about millionaire success habits, and at the beginning, I was not so into wealth, and I was not at that moment not looking after that. So when I bought the book, I was like, maybe that he will give me some, I don't know, formulas, or maybe he will tell you what should you invest, um, because he's a real estate. So when I started reading the book, I it was mind blowing, the fact that it was very insightful. The guy started first of all questioning why you want to be healthy, and he started explaining the differences between wealthy people, their mindset, and their mindset in general, not only about money, and
Yeah.
their habits, and all those misconceptions that we acquire as we grow up from your parents, seeing your parents that are not successful, and all that type of stuff. And I was like, whoa, I thought I was gonna come here to find maybe a formula, maybe something, and that guy was just talking about letting go all those misconceptions, you know, and set up your intention, which is something that you're saying, and it's so important because this is like universal law. You need to set an intention. And I see
Yeah.
that you say that a lot in your posts because I read your posts. Set an intention for, when, like, this is my money for traveling or vacations, this is my savings, this is retirement, this is this. It is so important, and it's as you come with your intention, it's very important finding your why.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
the
I know when I went on my physical health journey, like I had a very clear why. I remember there was a moment where I sat in the office with my doctor, and he was like, "So your mother has type 2 diabetes. You are healthy right now, but you're not far from there. And if you continue to go the way that you're going, and if you don't change your life and change your health, then, and especially like I had spinal surgery. He's like, you are putting way so much unnecessary stress on your spine right now. And if you don't do this, you are going to die young. And like that's how he told it to me, and that is what set my clear intention. Like I was like, no, that is not me. That is not the way that I go out. Like I am not fucking going out because couldn't couldn't get to sleep, and I was working myself to the bone, and I had way too much stress, and like I was not taking care of my body, and I was eating crap, and like just treating myself awful. And that was like my why. Like I was like, no, that's not the way that I'm going out. That's not, like, I know that I was meant for something bigger and meant for something better. and and this is like, I need to make this change for me. And it wasn't like, I remember so many people at that time were like, oh, are you doing this for this and this reason, or are you doing it for like, you know um like, I was engaged at the time. They're like, oh, you're doing this for your wedding? I was like, no, like I don't have my wedding planned at all. I don't know when it is. And granted, like I that was also part of me getting healthy, was like not getting married to that person. And like
oh,
that's also another huge part of like being just super honest and super intentional about who I am and what I need, and
what do
what
you want?
what do I want, and what is my body telling me.
And what is your body telling you no?
Yeah. And
Because
it was a
that
big
is
wake
another.
up call. Yeah. Like the fact that I did not plan my wedding, and like it was 2 years that I was engaged, and like I was I was that person that was like, no, I'm just too busy. And then I had to stop and like ask myself, like, why am I too busy? Like, why don't
Mm-hmm.
I want this? And it was somebody else that also came into the picture, and like they said it to me so bluntly. I you know Cuisine by Claudette. I'm like
Yeah.
giving all these like secrets. So Cuisine by Claudette is like an awesome restaurant with this like kick-ass Israeli female owner, and she just tells it to you like it is. And I remember I was talking to her, and she was just like, so you've been engaged for 2 years and you haven't set a date. He's not the one. And I was like, wait, no, no, like, no, I'm just busy, blah, blah. She's like, don't give me that shit. If he was the one, you would have married him. And that's like, that was like the moment where I was just like, oh shit, she's right. Like I'm not listening to what my body is telling me. The reason that I got so flustered and overwhelmed and like felt like crap every time I thought about like planning this wedding, it was because like I didn't want to marry the guy.
And
And
probably also your way out to postpone and avoid the situation, like not wanting to face it and come to like, okay, we have to sit.
yeah,
All right. And it was first sitting with yourself, like, what do I want? And again, what is your body telling you no? I mean, uh, that is so beautiful that you're sharing that, and I really appreciate it, because it's like I said before. I know that, you not only lost weight, there was a lot of things, and like some pressure on your shoulders and stress that you had, and that's now like you feel released. And speaking about relationships, my last relationship, I was so stressful because I was so worried about him, always trying to lift him, and but he was not his fault. All that pressure I put into myself. Like, nobody told me pick this up. When I like came to the moment and the realization, I'm like, I'm done. I just cannot keep this doing, going into this path. And we break up. I started losing weight just like that. And because I released all that pressure that all that it was not mine, it was not my life, and I was like,
yeah,
so it's great what you're saying about tuning into your body, bringing
yeah,
back again about our life. We're human beings, and I just invite all your audience and from my own experience to read about successful people. The owner of Amazon, recently I just came across with this. He said like how he built his empire sleeping his 8 hours. You don't need to bust your, you know, and lose your sleep and get yourself stressed out in order to be successful, because it's more important to be
yes.
than I'm sorry, but busting your, you know what.
Oh,
you know
so my audience is totally used to people cursing. I curse in front of them all the time. Maybe I shouldn't, but you could totally say ass. I say
Sure.
fuck, ass, all the things.
So
Um,
that's
where,
that's the thing. You don't have to, but that is a misconception, and that's when we come into with the wealth mindset.
yeah,
Everything is
and
connected.
and
Because I
I want to
saw my
also,
parents working their ass to have this house, I have to do it like that. No, the beautiful about this and us and the moment, the present, is that we have the power to make things different.
yeah. And I totally want to open up also for the audience. If you guys are watching and you have any questions, if you're watching right now or you're watching on the replay, like, we're here for you. We want to answer your questions. We'll post a link to the book also that Gabriela is talking about in the comments so that you'll be able to see that. Um, and if you want to reach out to either Gabriela or I, feel free to also do that. Gabriela, how can they get in touch with you if they want to?
Oh, if you want to get in touch with me, usually I'm on Instagram. My Facebook is more personal, but if you want to send me a friend request, might as well. It's at bio underscore Gabby with one B, Gaby.
Okay.
So
And
bio underscore Gabby.
what are the things that you usually work with people on?
Right now, one of the things that I'm working, it's I like to walk through people, help them to when there is a point in your life when you want, like, I don't want to continue to this path, into on this path, and I want to make a change. I like to help them to find like another north, something that they will find more joy as they do it. And I think that based on my experience as an immigrant, only 3 years I've been living in the U.S., and it has been a major experience. And I think everything is for a reason. Everything happens for a reason, and I'm glad to. I feel very comfortable to help people. Like, you know what? If you're tired of this, get out of that comfort zone. I like to encourage people to get out of your comfort zone and try something else. And if you're not happy, just give yourself another chance. That's one
Yeah.
of the things I'm working on. I'm really excited.
Oh, that's awesome. I think that's so important for people to know and for people to understand, and really it it's all about like listening to yourself and what you want and what you need, because like we are such powerful beings. We're so like people don't believe this a lot of times, but literally we can speak things into existence just by thinking them, just by speaking them. And I firmly believe the law of attraction is real, and like
Oh, yes.
really getting clear about what it is that you want to do, what it is that brings you joy, what it is that will change things for you. I mean, especially in the world that we live in today, like it is so much easier for people to, to build their own reality. Like with the internet and being in contact with so many different kinds of people, like you can find your tribe anywhere. There is
Sure.
somebody who is in need of the thing that you want to sell or the thing that you want to bring to the world. And I think that that's a privilege that we have that our parents didn't necessarily have. Like maybe they had to follow the old rules of like get a job, work hard, try to find something that gives you health benefits and a pension, like and a
But this is
401k.
the
Like
millennial generation, so we are like enough.
yeah, like we don't need to live by those rules. And in fact, like people are doing much better. It's the people that don't live by those rules that are
Yes.
really the ones that are successful. Because in school, and this is huge, like in school, you just don't get the kind of education that you need in order to be an entrepreneur, in order to think outside the box. And I think that that is the most successful education that you can get. Oh, so Josh asks,
I love that question. I read
yeah,
it.
how do you feel about the famous question, where do you see yourself in 5 years? So I actually love that question also, because I have used that question in order to plan out the next 5 years of my
They have
life.
a glance, yes, to
Yeah,
tell the universe, hey, please, I would like to have this.
exactly. And like, if you know where you see yourself in 5 years, you can map out how to get there. That's
Exactly.
what's that's what's super important about it.
And
And
that
like,
comes with, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
yeah,
that part right there that you're saying is the part that successful people has. They can be, in bankruptcy, but they have vision. And
yes,
that is the key. They know that my situation right now, it's a transition. I'm not gonna be here forever, and I know where I'm going. And a lot of people, I have met people, and I'm talking about very personal, like my sisters. I've met people that are incredible, talented. They are so talented. They could be doing, being so successful, but there is a lot of, other factors that are like holding them back. And the other day, someone said there is a lot of people out there with less experience than you doing what you are not, doing. The difference is they believe more in themselves and they're giving themselves a chance.
yeah.
And
And I feel
that,
like when I have clients and when I talk to my clients, I I believe in them. Like I only work with people that I honestly believe in their potential. And so it's almost like I let them borrow my belief in them so that they can go forward.
that's
Because
so powerful.
yeah, because people doubt themselves and we
Because
all get
people
this like,
need that. People need that.
yeah,
Someone fanning your flame. Like,
exactly. Like, I know how amazing you are. I know how much you can do this. Like, I am
Yes.
here for you. I believe in you. And that, in and of itself, just having somebody like that in your corner is so powerful.
A
I mean,
cheerleader.
yes. And that's something that you spoke about also, about surrounding yourself with the type
Yes.
of people that you need in order to grow and be healthy. Like, you need a cheerleader. You need somebody who's also going to be super honest to you while they're cheerleading. Like,
Oh
a
yes,
yes
you need that
person,
person.
yeah, like a yes
That's why
person
they
is
need
not
people like
enough.
you, and they
Yes.
need honestly people like me. Those mentors that
Yeah.
they're gonna be like, I love you, but this there is something that we need to work on.
Yeah. And that is such a powerful thing when you can come to that realization and accept that in yourself and understand that you don't have to be perfect at everything, but you find the people that complete you.
Yes, and as soon as you start searching, opening yourself, um, and then the universe starts like, okay, okay, I guess she's finally getting it. Okay, I can understand what you want. It's incredible, powerful. Like this happened today.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
really like you've been in my mind so many days, like, but I was like, oh, okay, and then I saw you laughing like a hi.
yeah. So I thought about you like 3 times today. So I'll tell the viewers a little bit what happened. Like, I was supposed to have somebody else come on today. It was supposed to be a totally different topic. And I've been practicing detachment, right? Like, not being
Oh.
attached to how things come about. Like, I know what I want to happen, but I am not going to be attached to the method in which they happen. And that's something that's really hard for me because I'm super in control of like
As an
everything.
entrepreneur,
Yeah,
you are like, I'm on board. I have.
exactly. Like, I'm moving all the little pieces and I need to make sure it's done right. And like, I've been practicing not doing that because I don't want to
Wow.
micromanage and I don't want to be like that. And so the other guest at the last minute fell through and I was like, "Oh, Gabby." And not only that, like, we had a totally different topic plan and I'm like, "No, no, no. I've been talking, like, I know you and I know exactly what I want to talk to you about. So today's Money Monday is going to be totally different, and we're going to talk about something that honestly I've been almost like not scared to talk about, like scared to tell that story about my weight, and about getting healthy, but I've been holding it back for a while just because it was so fresh. Like, it's still so fresh. Both of the things that we talked about, like that, my breaking off my engagement. It's been. I broke off my engagement like 6 months ago, and like the getting healthy has been like 2 years in the making, and I'm still there, and I'm still on the journey.
You
So
are a
like it
work in
was,
progress, and we are a work in
yeah,
progress.
yeah, I'm always a work in progress. I feel like in like 2 months, I will again be like in a totally different place, like hopefully expansion wise. I mean, I'm going to DragCon. I'm leaving for DragCon on Thursday. So,
You're enjoying your life. I think you're now living
yeah,
your. I think you're living your best life right now.
I am
Because I
totally living
think
my best
that
life.
with that, with the hair color change, I think it was more like, yeah, you empower yourself, and I was like, I'm gonna take on. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I
it's
usually
me.
see beyond, and I really see when I saw that, I'm like, wow. I love people that are different. I
Yeah,
love when people are edgy and have that, like, you know what? I like my blue hair. So what? Because
exactly.
we live in a little bit of society where, what is trendy? What is trendy? And I'm like, I always been the person that I like to do things different. Chartres, this is how crazy we are connected. I study marine biology in Venezuela.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
So that
God.
and it's very crazy because one of the reasons that made me fall in love with marine biology was sharks. They are
Oh,
amazing creatures.
they
And
are.
they're very wise, let's say, because they are one of the ancestral animals. They've been in this planet for many many years ago.
Yeah, they are super, like, they're super misunderstood. And it's
Oh
funny
yeah.
because I always wanted, like, when I was a kid, if you would have asked me, I was going to be a marine biologist. I was
Wow.
going to be a marine biologist. And not only that, like, I was actually going to specialize in something that's not sharks, but
No,
they're the
listen,
only
marine
thing.
biology is like medicine. You
Yeah.
can.
I was a big fan back then, and I'm still a huge fan, but orcas were my thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
like
Different
um
family of
different,
scientifically speaking,
totally
but
different.
orc
um
whales are also very smart.
yeah, well, here's what happened is so because of my interest in marine biology and the fact that, like, I watched Discovery Channel, and I had like a super healthy fear of sharks. Like, I was literally physically afraid of sharks. And I'm the type of person that, like, when I'm afraid of something, I throw myself at it, with everything.
That's
And
great. That's great. That's the way of living.
yeah, so what happened was I got certified to be a scuba diver because I always wanted to be in the
Oh,
ocean.
nice.
And then I had spent 4 years and I was certified, and I had not seen a shark in the wild. And I was like, oh my God, I hear all these stories with other divers. They see sharks, they freak out, they hurt themselves because they go up too fast, or they, like, knock the regulator out of their mouth and, like, almost drown underwater, or they're just, like, they put themselves in dangerous situations because of their fear. And I was like, I need to put myself in. I don't know how I'm going to react when I see a shark because I fear them. And I need to put myself in a situation where I am going to be forced to confront sharks. So I went to St. Martin and I did a cageless shark dive.
Oh
And I was
my
surrounded
god.
by like 30 sharks feeding. And it was, now that I'm like a little bit more in the scene, like, I understand that that's not the best thing to do. For me, it totally changed everything for me. Like, on the one hand, it's like a really great thing to get people accustomed to sharks and to have people understand that sharks do not give a shit about you and they do not want to eat you. On the other hand,
Yeah.
like,
Pew.
it makes sharks associate people with food, and that's not good. So, like, it's a double-edged sword, but, like, from that dive on, I have seen sharks on every place that I have been to. I see sharks in the wild, and, like, they've just, like, that's when I became the sharktress. They took over as, like, my spirit animal because I was just like, oh my God, it is not this, like, cold-blooded, like, predatory animal that I thought was just gonna eat me no matter what because, like, they can smell a drop of blood in the water. Like,
And at
no,
the same
they
time,
are
they're
so
so
smart.
sensitive. And they're at the same time they're so sensitive. They can sense your fear because our
Yes.
vibrations our heartbeat increases as we are scared, and if we're seeing, and in the ocean the sounds travels faster than in the air, so they can
Yeah.
sense your maybe not your fear, but our vibration,
The
because we are
electrical,
energy, because
yeah.
yes. And it's I mean, we can sit here and talk about marine biology, but I'm gonna tell you that once you get to know about marine biology, you will never see the world from the same point of view. It's
Oh,
everything, you look everything different.
it is. And it's true because that was another part of me, like, just opening up. When you're a scuba diver, or if you study marine biology and you get into the ocean and you realize, like, well, first of all, like, there is so many things so much bigger than whatever I'm going through. Like, I am,
Abundance.
like, so,
Oh,
yeah,
small.
I'm, like, so small. My problems are so small. And being inside the ocean, and especially scuba diving for me, is such a meditative experience. Like
Oh
that,
yes.
during meditation, and during yoga even sometimes, that is my happy place. Like that's the place that I go to be completely at peace and completely one with the world, because you are this thing that is so connected to everything, and all of those little
In
cares and
harmony.
worries.
Everything is in
Yeah.
harmony in the ocean.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
And
Well, I
yeah,
was in the
and
Caribbean, in Venezuela, so I got the chance to see thousands of species. And that part that you're saying about feeling in peace, it's also seen in the harmony that everything happens in the ocean, and people sometimes underestimate the oceans. I always have this like, why people like, oh, don't throw garbage, don't litter. Yeah, but also our oceans, like our planet is 75% salty water. We should be caring about oceans. Hello.
yeah,
Oxygen's, yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into that, but yeah, I think it's I mean, when I saw the sharks, there's always like, oh, this is so cool, and it's great because I had always a, like the feeling like I wanna do something with her, and then when you came out on the beautiful meeting of the ladies of Rockaway, I was like, oh my god, that is so nice, because I thought, I'm like, I identify with her with the shark too. There must be a reason why there must be something in the ocean that she likes, and
yeah,
this has been happening. Marine biology has been always like with me, even though I don't practice that here. But it's crazy how I'm always connected with the ocean.
yeah.
First time I was living in Staten Island, so ocean, and then I end up in Rockaway, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, just to go back to health a little bit, like I know that the ocean calms me. I know that it helps with my stress. I know that it's something that I need in my life. And I was super stressed today. There's so many last minute details that have to be ironed out before DragCon, and I leave on Thursday. And I literally left, like, I was under so much stress, but I practice like a high performance lifestyle, and like I knew that at that moment I'm not efficient and I'm not productive. And so
Exactly.
I walked down to the water, took off my shoes, walked down into the sand, stuck my feet in the water, and just let myself breathe and walk in the water on the sand and just spend time with the ocean today. And like that was another piece of like me listening to my body, listening to my mind, and saying, no, I know what I need. I need to be near the water. And like right now, same thing. I know it's dark and you guys can barely see me right now, so I'm not going to keep this too much longer. But like I listen to those feelings within myself, and I'm like, yes, I need to be by the water tonight. Like I need to be outside. I need to It's a beautiful beautiful day in Rockaway. It's a beautiful night in Rockaway, and like I'm sitting on the bay right now and gonna have a drink, and yeah, it's just you gotta
And it's
listen.
beautiful because once you do that, once you take that time for yourself, everything else falls into place.
Yeah. That's it. Like
You
you
will get the call that this is fixed, this is okay, okay, we found a solution, and even you allowed your mind to like you gain mental clarity, so you're able to come up with solutions.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. I was sitting on the beach and I was like, all right, I made my decision. I know how I'm going to go forward with this. Because you gave yourself that space to think about it. Like, as humans, we can't be in flight or, fight or flight mode all the time. That's not our best functioning selves.
And your
Like,
cortisol is right here when we're like that.
yeah, exactly. Like that is great for like split second decisions about literally fighting or flighting. Like that is not good with the daily stress of our lives. We need to come up with ways to like bring yourself back to center, to calm down, and then you can think through problems easily. That's why having good sleep is really important. Like your brain needs that time to like recoup, and it needs that time to go into REM sleep and problem solve.
Hmm.
Like
And then your capacity to making, right decisions or better decisions will improve as well. We all
Exact.
need that moment where like, and animal in nature that happens. We
Yeah.
are part of this earth. We are part in nature that happens. So
Yeah.
when you understand how nature and all the ecosystems works, it's like, you see, everything is gonna happen, at the time that it's supposed to, in the perfect timing, and there's nothing that we can, do much to change that.
Yeah, and I think that like for me, like getting up and moving is so important. I was actually speaking to a friend of mine who told me about we were talking about like gazelles. And so when
Mm.
they're when they get away from a predator, so afterwards they spend just a moment like shaking and kind of like dancing to get
Going
that
through their
nervous,
emotions.
yeah, to get that nervous energy out of them so that they can go on and like have a great rest of their day or like keep going. And I think that just thinking about that, like even like an animal like a gazelle understands that you need to take the time to shake off that shit so that you can move on with your life. Like they almost just got eaten by something much bigger than them. Like it's traumatic. They're
Yes.
shaking off that trauma and like moving the fuck on. And that's something that we have to allow ourselves, and that's part of being healthy. Like understand that traumatic shit is going to happen to you, but you need to give yourself that space and that time to just shake that shit off and keep it going.
Exactly. And by you saying that is acknowledging yourself. It's
Yes.
acknowledging yourself. And this is a practice that we have to do back into the money subject and the health subject. With the money subject, what is holding you back of,
Yes.
living the life that you want? What is holding you back? What are your concept about money? Who introduced you? How were you introduced you to money?
That's
So
it.
in my case, I have to go back to the basics because I'm doing an entrepreneur course, and we were like, our second subject right away was money, and what was your relationship, your introduction. None of my family, I see them successful, so I need to create but I had to come to that and
Yeah.
tap into, wait a minute, yeah, write it down. Who introduced me to money? What are my beliefs about money?
Yeah. It's the
And
first thing that I go through with every
that's
client.
like,
Like, what are
I
your
have,
stories?
yes. So it is also, you see how everything is connected, and that was the purposes of
Yeah.
this beautiful life, of everything is connected in the same way. You have to, work with yourself. You work with your money in every aspect of your life. It's like this. Like, wait
Yeah.
a minute, let me tap in, tune in, your own Wi-Fi, like,
Yes. Exactly. Like you need to tune into yourself, into your body, into your mindset, and really tune into your money stories. Like those are so important. That's how you know how you have to, like you said, acknowledge. You have to acknowledge, like, how did you learn about money? What feelings come up for you? What changes are visible in your body when you talk about your money? Like all of that is interconnected. Your physiological body will change when you talk about it. And
exactly.
and you have to tune into those things because those things will give you hints about what are your true feelings, what is your true relationship with money. And I think that like this today's Money Monday, it was so perfect that you were a part of it because it's something that like I've been wanting to talk about and that I haven't done. And it was almost like you were the catalyst for this conversation that I've
Thank
been
you so
wanting to have. Yes,
much.
I'm so happy about it.
No, I
Um,
was so happy when you were like, "Oh, are you willing to do this?" I was like, "Oh, yes."
I thought of you right away. I was like, oh, wait, the other one fell through? Gabby, let me call her now. And then I saw you on Instagram. I was like, hey, like, do you want to do this tonight? Yeah, that oh my god, that happened when I was sitting on the beach,
Oh.
coming back to myself. I was like, solution, you know? So,
Great. I'm happy to be here tonight. Thank you so
yes,
much.
thank you. And I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut our Money Monday. I'm so sorry. I'm having such a great time talking to you, and maybe I'm gonna have you on for another Money Monday because I want to continue this conversation. I think it's just so great and so important, and like
And so
if you're
powerful.
yeah, and so powerful. So if you're watching and you've got questions or you want to see Gabby back on, please let us know. If you're in LA and you're going to be if you're going to be in LA this weekend, also let me know. Come to DragCon, visit my booth. Also reach out to Gabby if you want some
Don't miss her
help.
dress. Her
Yes,
outfit
oh
is.
my god, I'm going to
is-
post the outfit
I
soon.
had the pleasure to see them in the making process, and I was like, oh my gosh, she looks so good. And it's not that you look good. I could tell that you felt good. So you
Yes.
project that. I was like, she's doing it.
I know. I'm literally really living my best life right now. I can't even like sometimes I look at like the shit that I'm doing and I'm like, holy shit, like who the fuck am I? And it's like I have allowed myself to become me, like completely and totally and honestly and authentically me. And like
Yes.
sometimes me is getting fitted for a custom costume of a shark. Like that's just who I am. Like
And
getting
heels,
an entire
nothing more sexy. I was like,
I
oh my
know.
god.
Oh my god. And 6.5 inch heels. That's just who I am. 6.5 inch heels and like a shark dress. And like I have I'm so excited for DragCon. I have this like little shark short suit. Like with fins on the arm. Like I will show
I need
I'm
to see
gonna
the picture so bad. You need to make a live so we can see your
oh,
booth.
I will totally make a live from DragCon. Yeah, for sure. And I'm gonna be posting tons of pictures so that everybody can like be a part of this amazing event that I'm doing. But I'm gonna go have a great, amazing night. We will post the book that we talked about. If you've got any questions, please ask because even if this is on the replay, we're here and we want to answer.
Yeah,
Um,
and we're here for all of you. If we can
yes,
be make any help,
yes.
provide any
Borrow
help.
our belief in you. That's like the best way that I can put it. And have an amazing night. And I will see you all soon. Bye.
Bye.